Hello, creative ones. This is Robin Dudley House coming to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. Welcome to Tuesday Tutorial Tuesday. I got a little bit of a late start. I have family in. It's summertime, and you know the days are longer, and you kind of lose track of time. And I've also just got through wrapping up my latest online class and sent out a ton of kits today, so I got a little bit behind, but here I am. I'm kind of excited because I just bought this Somerset Studio. I haven't bought one for a long time. I used to submit ideas and material to them all the time and get free magazines because I would be published, but you know, Pinterest has kind of taken over, and unfortunately magazines aren't as prominent as they used to be. But Somerset Studio still has it. Stampington in general is amazing still. So I saw this. This is not too old. It's May, June, July 2019, and their format has changed quite a bit from when I remember it. And I was really inspired by two articles. This lady here, who has taken old pieces of ephemera and bits of paper and envelopes and made these just the most adorable books in this cream and ivory color palette. I was so inspired by her, and so that's kind of where our project is going to be today. Something similar to this, not exactly like this. I kind of started playing around with snippets of paper that I have all over the place in my studio, and I thought it'd be kind of fun for us to craft along with each other. This might be a series of videos, and my thought is that eventually I would make some pages for a journal. These are small in size, and I'm kind of want to take the sizes that she's done. They seem to be, from what I've seen and read, the size of an envelope that's been folded in half, a small envelope. I just love her ideas. And then I love this lady too. So there's a theme here. I love the creams and the tans and the neutral colors, the palettes here. So this woman's name is Earl Noble, and this other gal's name is it's not Jennalee. I'll find it here. I want to make sure I give credit. Yeah, Jennalee Anderson. So yeah, this one is pretty cool too. Old books that she's taken and made little booklets for her family with family photos in it. I love these. I love the simplicity of them. They're very artfully done, and to my way of thinking, and I'm just inspired by these ideas. So I'm gonna kind of work with that, and not sure where I'm gonna go, but I hope you join with me and craft along. So like most of us who make journals and work with paper, we have way too many scraps of paper. And because I make kits for a lot of my classes, I have like a ton of scrap coffee dyed and tea stained paper, and you know how long it takes to make all that. You don't want to throw it away. So I started playing around, and I made some little, nothing, no big deal, but the scraps that I made are going to be used for a little mini journal, like the one I just finished making for my online class. And I really like the way they came out. I just, and I'm going to show you what I did. I just took these strips of paper that were tea dyed and just started grabbing pieces of cut up paper that was on my table, maybe on the floor, things that you might just save for snippets, and they made these cute little pages that for my journal. Really had fun making them, and the great thing is they're kind of mindless. You just just start gluing things down without really thinking about it. So I gathered some scraps that were really just sitting on my table, and I'm gonna just kind of go for it, and I hope you join along with me. So let's just go ahead and start with this. I do use, this is parchment paper on the bottom here, a paintbrush, and some matte medium. This is the matte medium I use, but you can use anything you have. Golden is fine. It's for those of you who don't know, it's a kind of a glue, and also used for painting. So I'm going to take the lid, and I'm just going to start playing and laying paper fibers, and just kind of going for it. And my thought is that by, you know, who knows how many videos, maybe 1 or 2, maybe more than that, I'll have some fun pages that I can actually make into maybe larger pages. So I can take these strips and lay them down into a junk journal, and they would make an interesting page, I think, anyway. So really just, you know, all the little scraps that you tear off when you're working with your journal, or the scraps that you cut off that you can't use because they might be too big for your journal pages. I make a confession, I save them. I mean, I do once in a while just toss stuff, but ask anybody in my family. I keep a lot of stuff. So this is just this looks like it was from a piece of burlap trim. We'll see if that actually stays down. I think the juxtaposition of different textures and layers make this very interesting, and maybe even some color. For a while I was painting a rose every day, and it made the skins from the paint made kind of interesting pieces. So I thought maybe someday I will use these, and here we go. So these are just dried skins from painting, from my painting adventures. So I hope everybody's having a great summer. I have family in town, and we just went and had Mexican food at one of our favorite places called La Capilla. It's in the South Bay of Southern California. And you can take these scraps after they've dried, and you could maybe add some squiggles of charcoal or paint. Just kind of keep adding to them. The cool thing is, I found, is that when you cut them up to make these little pages, they kind of, I don't know, they just kind of have a life of their own. So I'm going to put that to the side and let that dry, and then we'll work on the next one. Just going to keep moving on here. And like I said, I might take these scraps and make them into a journal page. And take words maybe when you're done, and put some words on here that have some meaning. This is some scraps of lace. You know how we use stuff like that for snippet rolls. Yeah, so I think I will come back next Tuesday and we'll continue with this and how this progress went here. I'm going to leave that like that. Move on to the next piece. I think I'm going to do a longer strip. Maybe I'll do a bigger one like this so she fits on here. I got some really great news. I can't really tell you exactly what it is, but I should be announcing it probably next week. I was asked to be a member of a design team for a very well-known brand company, and I was really excited to hear that. So I'll probably be making an announcement next week about that. And like I said, I'm excited because I finished one of my online classes, finished filming and editing and uploading all the content onto my online school, and that's always a good feeling to get something accomplished like that. I don't know if any of you have made online classes, but they're very time intensive, very rewarding, but very time intensive. This is a rose petal. Thought it might be kind of interesting to add it. Whenever I get flowers from my husband, I don't like throwing them away, so I dry them. Kind of interesting. Just a piece of fabric. That to the side. Move on to another one. When I'm done, I'll show you all of them. This won't be too long, this video. So far we have these strips here. And see how they might look interesting when they're all stacked up. I love old packaging. This was from a embroidery floss, I believe. I like the front and the back, so I don't want to waste that part. I want to see, maybe I'll tear it. Some more of the paint skin. There's another one. I think the key to this is to not think about it too much, because you have to kind of think of these as part of a puzzle, and once you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, it'll make more sense. So because you're kind of just going for it, you're not making anything in specifically. It's going to be part of a project, and you can cut it or leave it whole depending on what you're gonna be needing it for. And it's kind of one of those things that's fun to have, because if you need to add something interesting to your journal or to a pocket, you can take these and use them in whole or, in part. So I think the best thing to do is just start laying down just the snippets that you have in a little container, and just work with those. Don't try to find something just that's going to be just perfect, because the whole idea behind this is to just kind of let loose and be free and just have fun, just kind of playing like you are when you were a kid. And loving the process. This is a tea bag. See, I like this. I just like this. I think this looks amazing. This is so simple, but I don't know, it just seems so like it could be used as a canvas, a blank canvas for something. I'll leave that. Take some pieces from outside, if you have a tree, and add those. This is just a leaf. I like working with translucent things because you can do some interesting layers. So I like working with like vellum papers or tracing papers, or, well, not necessarily tracing papers, but see-through laces, because it kind of it doesn't take away, but it adds some nice texture. And of course, these can always be added onto. They that's kind of what they're there for. And when you're done, when they're done drying, they just have their own. They kind of take on a life of their own. I really love playing like this. It's a great way to just. I think it's a great way for you to become, if you're kind of stuck creatively, to kind of get your creativity back and working. You can see it literally, these are scraps. And for the most part, I did not cut these. They were already like this, sitting on my table, getting, probably ready to be removed and put into the trash. But I thought, oh, these are great for this project. So I'm probably going to wrap it up here. I want to show you what we've done, or I've done, and I hope you've been able to craft with me. Very minimal supplies. It's not something that you have to gather a lot of stuff for. But I think what I will do next Tuesday is I might have more done, and then we'll actually make some journal pages, or maybe even some little journals with the scraps. So we have, put these here. So we almost have a full page there. I mean, I wouldn't make this into a full page, but I think I would love having these available to put onto journal pages as maybe even like a pocket or onto an envelope that I can add to a journal. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see what I create next Tuesday with these little bits, and click the bell so that you're notified. I will have links below for my online school if you want to see what I have available. If you like Bohemian crafts, you might want to check it out. Bye.